कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Om अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय तस्यारविन्दनयनस्य पदारविन्दाकिञ्जल्कमिश्रतुलसी मकरन्दवायुः अन्तर्गतस्वविवरेण चकार तेषां संक्षोभमक्षरजुषामपि चित्ततन्वो नेह यत्कर्मधर्माय न विरागाय कल्पते न तीर्थपदसेवायै जीवनपि मृतो हि सः प्रसङ्गम् अजरं पाशम् आत्मनः कवयो विदुः स एव साधुषु कृतो मोक्षद्वारम् अपावृतम् तितिक्षव कारुणिका सुहृदः सर्वदेहिनाम् अजातशत्रवः शान्ताः साधवः साधुभूषणाः सतां प्रसङ्गान् मम वीर्यसंविदो भवन्ति हृत्कर्णरसायना कथा तज्जोषणादाशपवर्गवर्त्मनि श्रद्धारतिर्भक्तिरनुक्रमिष्यति हासं हरेरवनताखिललोकतीव्र शोकाश्रुसागरविशोषणमत्युदारम् सम्मोहनाय रचितं निजमायस्य भ्रूमण्डलं मुनिकृते मकरध्वजस्य मद्गुणश्रुतिमात्रेण मयि सर्वगुहाशये मनोगतिरविच्छिन्ना यथा गङ्गाम्बसोऽम्बुदौ लक्षणं भक्तियोगस्य निर्गुणस्य युदारितम् अहैतुक्यव्यवहिताय भक्तिपुरुषोत्तमे सालोक्यसारष्टिसामीप्य सारूप्यैकत्वमप्युत दीयमानं न गृह्णन्ति विनामत्सेवनं जना यन्नामधेय श्रवणानुकीर्तनाद्यप्रवलनाद्यस्मरणादपि क्वचित् स्वादोऽपि सद्य सवनाय कल्पते कुतः पुनस्ते भगवन्नुदर्शनात् अहो बतश्व पचतो गरीयान् यज्जिह्वाग्रे वर्तते नाम तुभ्यम् ते पुस्तपस्ते जुहुवुः सस्नुरार्या ब्रह्मानुचुर्नाम गृह्णन्ति ये ते हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Let us continue our study of Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam. Canto 3, Chapter 29, entitled Explanation of Devotional Service, Text 33. Again, this is Srimad Bhagavatam 3.29.33. Bhagwan Shri Kapil Dev is... चिन्मय माता जी, आप कुछ कहना चाहते हैं?
No, Prabhuji, sorry, by mistake.
No problem. Hare Krishna. Bhagwan Shri Kapil Dev is explaining to his mother, Srimati Devoti Devi, about devotional service. Text 33. तस्मान्मय अर्पितेशाशेष क्रियार्थात्मा निरन्तरः मयर्पितात्मनः पुंसो मयि सन्न्यस्तकर्मणः न पश्चामि परं भूतम् अकर्तु समदर्शनात्. Lord Shri Kapila Dev is saying, therefore I do not find a greater person than he who has no interest outside of mine, and who therefore engages and dedicates all his activities and all his life, everything, unto me without cessation. The Supreme Lord is saying that according to my estimation, the greatest person is one who is only interested in Krishna consciousness and who has no other interest, and whose activities and life is completely dedicated to Lord Krishna. Such a person is most dear to Krishna. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, in this verse, the word Samadarshanat means that he no longer has any separate interest. Remember, we discussed the term Bhinnadrik, separatist. Their interest is separate from Krishna's interest. But Samadarshanat means their interest is same as that of Lord Krishna. For example, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the role of a devotee, also preached the same philosophy. He preached that Krishna is the worshipful Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that the interest of his pure devotees is the same as his own. The word akartu, paragraph number 3, the word akartu means without any sense of proprietorship. Akartu does not mean not to do any work in this world. Akartu means to do work in this world, but without a sense of proprietorship. Proprietorship means ownership. Everyone wants to act as proprietor of his actions so that he can enjoy the result. Why we consider ourselves proprietor of our actions? So that we can have a full claim on the results of our actions. But what does Lord Krishna say in Bhagavad Gita? Karmanyavadhikaraste mahaphaleshu kadachana. We have a right to perform our prescribed duty, but we do not have proprietorship rights on the result of our activity, because everything belongs to Krishna. When Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached Krishna consciousness, it was not with the purpose that people will call him Krishna. In fact, what would Mahaprabhu do when people called him Krishna? Mahaprabhu would close his ears and say, Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Sometimes he would jump in the Ganga to purify himself. That, oh, you're calling a Adham Jeev as Krishna. It is clearly stated, therefore, Mai Sanyasta Karmanaha. In the fourth line of this verse, Bhagavan Kapil Dev says, the devotee works, but he works for the Supreme. Everything is devoted. Sannyasta means everything is offered, everything is devoted to Krishna. Mai Sanyasta Karmana. Everything is done for Krishna. Third line, Mai Arpitatmanaha. He gives his mind unto me. Arpita means to give, and Atma means one's mind, oneself. Mai Arpitatmanaha. A devotee gives his mind to Krishna. And according to Krishna, a person who lives their life according to this verse, who is Samadarsha, who is Akartu, who is Mai Sanyasta Karmana, who is Mai Arpita Manaha, such a person is the highest among all human beings. Na paschami param bhutam. Krishna says, I cannot find a person who is greater than such a person. Means this person is the greatest. One who is fully Krishna conscious. Text 34. मनसैतानि भूतानि प्रणमेद् बहुमानयन् ईश्वरो जीवकलया प्रविष्टो भगवानिति. Such a perfect devotee offers respects to every living entity because he is under the firm conviction that the Supreme Personality of Godhead has entered the body of every living entity as the super soul or controller. Ishvaro Jiva Kalaya Pravishto Bhagavaniti. Krishna has entered. Pravishta means entered. Pravesh kiya hai. in everyone, in every jiva. Therefore, Bahumanaya. Therefore, he offers great respect to everyone. Namaste means we are offering obeisances to Lord Narayan in your heart. So, perfect devotee offers respect to everyone. Amanina and Manadena. Manadena means to offer respect to others. A perfect devotee, as described above, does not make the mistake of thinking that because Supreme Personality of God as Paramatma has entered into the body of every living entity has become Paramatma. No. Every living entity is dear to Paramatma, therefore, Paramatma is living in their heart. So, let me offer my respects. There is a distinction between the Jiva and Paramatma. Jivatma and Paramatma. Text 35. Bhakti yogascha maya manav udiritaha yayor ekatarenaiva purusham vrajet. My dear mother, O daughter of Sri Swayambhu Manu, a devotee who applies the science of devotional service and mystic yoga in this way can achieve the abode of the Supreme Person simply by that devotional service. Bhakti. By Bhakti Yoga, one can attain the Supreme Lord's abode. Here in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Kapiladev perfectly explains that the mystic yoga system consisting of 8 different kinds of yoga activities, Ashtanga Yoga, has to be performed with the aim of coming to the perfectional stage of Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti yogascha maya manav udirita. O mother, by Bhakti Yoga, yayor ekatarenaiva purusha purusham vrajet. Purusha means a person, purusham vrajet, attains the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not acceptable for one to be satisfied simply by practicing the sitting posture and thinking himself a great yogi, complete. No. Ashtanga Yoga must be practiced with the aim of attaining Krishna. Vasudeva Param Dhyanam, Vasudeva Param Jnanam, Vasudeva Paragati. That we should know. Aim is Krishna. Prabhupada says there is no question of impersonal meditation. When by meditation on the Supreme Personality of Godhead in all detail, one comes to the point of love of God, that is the point of Bhakti Yoga. At that point, one may actually render service to the Lord out of transcendental love. So everything we do, we have to understand that we have to come to the point of love. Tesham satayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. We have to come to the point of priti purvak bhajan. Whether it is through meditation, whether it is through karma yoga, dhyana yoga, ashtanga yoga, jnana yoga, we have to come to the point of love for Krishna. Why are we chanting Hare Krishna? To get Krishna prem. भजनेर मध्य श्रेष्ठ नवविधा भक्ति कृष्ण प्रेम कृष्ण दीते धरे महाशक्ति तार मध्य सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन निरपराध नाम लीले पावे प्रेम धन. Sri Chaitanya emphasizing the purpose of ninefold devotional service is prem. Bhajanera madhya shresth navavida bhakti. Yes, out of 64 limbs, 9 limbs are the supreme. Bhajanera madhya shresth navavida bhakti. Why? Because Krishna prem dite. It can give us Krishna prem. And out of these 9 processes, 9 is too much. Tell me one. Okay. Tara madhya sarvashresh nam sankirtan. The greatest is nam sankirtan. Vanit Prabhu, when you go Saturday, Bhakti Vriksha, Ben Salem, नाम संकीर्तन. कभी कीर्तन मिस नहीं होना चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं कि कथा में बैठे कीर्तन शुरू हो गया, चलो बाहर चलो गपशप करो. नहीं नहीं नहीं. कीर्तन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Just like we sit and hear katha, we have to hear kirtan. Hari bol. तार मध्य सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन. निरपराध है नाम रेले पावे प्रेम धन. Without offenses, if we do नाम संकीर्तन, we'll get prem. Here it is clearly stated, Purushaha, Purusham Vrajet. The Purusha, living entity, goes to Purusham Rajit. Goes to Supreme Purush, Purushottam, Krishna, Bhagwan Vishnu. It is said herein that one can, last paragraph, it is said herein that one can approach the Supreme Personality of God by either the yoga process, Ashtanga Yoga, or Bhakti Yoga process. This indicates that factually there is no difference between Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga because target is Vishnu in both. Ashtanga Yoga also you do everything so that I can meditate on Krishna in the heart. In Bhakti Yoga also you are serving Krishna. I had once attended one yoga course on a weekend, and Govind Prabhu told me, he is a senior brahmachari, he was teaching some yogasana. I used to have back pain, so he taught me Bhujangasana to strengthen my back muscle so that I can sit without having back pain. 2017, this was Thanksgiving weekend 2017. After that, I have not had back pain by Krishna's mercy because of doing Bhujangasana. It strengthens the back muscles. He said the purpose of all these yogasana, Ardha Padmasana, Purna Padmasana, exercising your back by doing Bhujangasana and everything, the aim is so that we can sit nicely and chant our 16 rounds with focus. That is the thing. Text 36. Etad bhagavato rupam brahmana paramatmanah param pradhanam purusham daivam karma vicheshtitam. This Purusha, whom the individual soul must approach, is the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of God. Previous verse, Bhagavan said, Purusha Purusham Rajat. A person, Purush, can attain the Supreme Purush. So who is that Purush? Who is the Supreme Purush? That is being explained here. Please listen carefully. Etad Bhagavato Rupam Brahmanah Paramatmanah Param Pradhanam Purusham Daivam Karma Vicheshtitam. This Purush, whom the individual soul must approach, is the eternal form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is known as Brahman and Paramatma. He is the transcendental chief personality. Param Pradhanam Purusham means Bhagavan. Three forms. Brahmana means Parabrahma, impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Paramatmana, the expansion of Shirodaksha Vishnu in everyone's heart as Paramatma. And Param Pradhanam Purusham, the supreme transcendental chief person, Purushottam Krishna. Yomam evam asa mudho janati Purushottamam. Sa sarvavid bhajatimam sarva bhavena bharata. Krishna is Purushottam, according to Bhagavad Gita. And his activities are all spiritual. Daivam karma vicheshtitam. The activities of Krishna are Daivam. They are transcendental. Krishna Leela is transcendental. Our activities are karma. But Krishna is Daiva karma vicheshtitam. Daivam karma. Krishna activities are divine. In Bhagavad Gita also Lord Krishna says, Janma karma chame divyam. Yes. Purport. In order to distinguish the personality whom the individual soul must approach, it is described herein that this person, Supreme Person, this Purush, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a chief amongst all living entities. Nityo Nityanam. Chetanas Chetananam. Is chief amongst the living entities and is the ultimate form of impersonal Brahman effulgence, Paramatma manifestation. Everything comes from Bhagavan only. It is confirmed in the Katha Upanishad, Nityo Nityanam. There are many eternal living entities, but he is the chief. Nityo Nityanam means सारे नित्यों में ये सबसे बड़े नित्य है. नित्यो नित्यानाम, चेतनस चेतनानाम, अर्थात सारे चेतन जीवों से ये सबसे बड़े चेतन वस्तु है. वेद्यम वास्तवमस्तु शिवदम तापत्रयोन्मूलम. He is the वास्तव वस्तु, the main person, Krishna. Yo vetti tattvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti. Yeah, janma karma chametityam. Prabhupada is quoting in the purport. It is confirmed here, last sentence of the purport. It is confirmed here. Purusha, Purusham Rajat, the living entity goes to Supreme Personality simply by understanding his transcendental nature and activities. Why are we doing Bhakti Vaibhava? So we can understand Krishna. And by understanding Krishna, we'll fall in love with Krishna. Hari Bol. This is not our purpose. 37. Rupa Bhedaspadam Divyam. All the beautiful answers you write in Bhakti Vaibhava. Shamchandra Prabhu. Beautiful answers. All this will lead to love of Godhead. We are reading about Krishna. Acha, how did Krishna save Parikshit in the womb of Uttara? What happened when Krishna instructed Arjun that as far as Ashwatthama is concerned, you have to satisfy Bhimsen and you have to satisfy your wife also. See, these are all Divya Karma of Krishna, divine pastimes on which we are meditating, we are discussing, we are hearing, we are reading, we are thinking, we are writing. This is great. Bhakti Vaibhava is great. Bhagwan Kapil Dev is Bhagwan. We are hearing his Amrit Vachan. We are going to write it in exam. What? Millions and millions of years ago in Satyug, Bhagwan Kapil Dev, the grandson of Swayambhuva Manu, wrote. Today we are in Kali Yuga. By Prabhupada's mercy, we are studying. It's amazing. 37. Rupa Bhedaspadam Divyam Kalait Abhidhiyate Bhutanam Mahad Adinam Yato Bhinnadrisham Bhayam. Time factor, Kal, who causes the transformation of various material manifestations, is another feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Kalosmi, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who does not know that time is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Time is Krishna. Therefore, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had a watch. Radha Gopinath Prabhu. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada carried a pocket watch. What did Srila Prabhupada wear around his wrist? Watch. There were no mobile calendars in the phone in those days, no reminders, correct? Therefore, Srila Prabhupada carried his phone. Prabhupada was so pakka in his schedule, Dincharya. Bhaktivinoda Thakur's daily schedule, everybody knows. So very important to follow time. If we respect time, we are respecting Krishna. If we neglect time, disrespect time, we are disrespecting Krishna. Devotee will never waste time. How many times Srila Prabhupada quoted Sri Chanakya Pandit with that famous verse that all the wealth of the world cannot purchase one moment of time that is lost. So we have to respect time factor. Why? Because Rupa Bhedas Padam Divyam Kal It Abhidhiyate. We should know that Kal is time. It's a form of Krishna. Kalosmi, Krishna, I am time. Purport. Everyone is afraid of the activities of time. As children, how many times we have felt anxiety that, oh, someday my parents will die. Every child growing up gets that anxiety. Don't think you are the only one. We learned it in pediatrics. It's normal psychology. Every child thinks with great anxiety that one day my parents will die. I will be alone in this world. I don't want to live. I want to die before my parents. This is very natural. Hare Krishna. We are all afraid of time. We know what time will do. Time will take away everything. Hare Krishna. Our new car will become old. Our new house will become old. Our body will become old. This is what time does. Everyone is afraid, Prabhupada is saying. But a devotee who knows that time is another representation of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God, has nothing to fear. If we understand time is Krishna, oh no, my hair is getting gray, takkal pad rahi hai, I'm getting weak. I don't have the same energy I had when I was 20 years old. People become depressed. But for a devotee, this is a sign that I am coming closer to Krishna. Death is coming, which means I am coming closer to Krishna. Because time is Krishna and Mrityu Sarvaharascha Aham. I come in the form of death and take away everything material. So death is also Krishna, time is also Krishna. What is there to fear? Haribol. Think about it. If you think that time is Krishna, death is Krishna, what is there to fear? Krishna is saying, Mrityu Sarvaharascha Aham. I come as death. So if Krishna is going to meet us in the form of death, Haribol, we are ready, isn't it? We are ready to meet Krishna. I actually had this experience in 2013 when I was working as a hospitalist in Alabama. I was taking care of a pastor. He was a Christian, faithful Christian, and he worked as a pastor in a local church. And he had colon cancer, which had metastasized everywhere in his belly. And he had tumors everywhere. And some tumors were actually invading into his stomach. He had so many metastases everywhere in the belly. But oddly enough, some tumors were just breaking through the wall of his stomach inside the lumen of the stomach. So we did endoscopy and we found that inside the stomach there was tumor coming from outside and it was eroding the blood vessels of the stomach and bleeding. So we contacted the surgeon, can something be done? Surgeon said nothing can be done because the whole peritoneal cavity is studded with metastasis. Nothing can be done. He's inoperable. So we told him that nothing can be done. It's a ticking time bomb. As soon as a major blood vessel is eroded, you're going to bleed to. Already bleeding had started. We gave him few bags of blood, and then he told me, he held my hand, he told me, Dr. Deshmukh, I am ready to meet Jesus. No more blood transfusion, no surgery. Just let me be. I am ready to meet Jesus. I cannot tell you what a profound experience it was for me. What a profound experience it was. My faith in Krishna was so much solidified that day. That here is a pastor, he has lived his life praying, he has lived his life studying holy scriptures, and look at his state of consciousness at the time of death. I want that consciousness when my death comes. I should be able to see, I am ready to meet Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga. I am ready to meet my Mahaprabhu. I am ready to fall at the feet of Mahaprabhu. I want to be embraced by Nitai Gaur Haribol. How many of you want to be embraced by Ajanulambita Bhujau like that? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We cannot meet Mahaprabhu without going through death. So death is welcome. Hari Bol. But we have to live our life also nicely, devotedly. Not that anybody will after death go to Krishna. It is मत कर्म कृन मत परमो मत भक्त संग वर्जित निर्वैर सर्वभूतेषु यह समामेति पांडव. Last verse of the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells the formula who comes to him. Yah samameti Pandava. This person will come to me. Who? Mat karma krin. One who works for me. One who works for me. Just now we read that we have to work for Krishna, isn't it? We read. What was the exact words? It was in verse 33. That Mai sanyasta karmanaha. All your work should be for me, dedicated to me. Mai sanyasta karmanaha. Same thing Lord Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita. What he's saying as Bhagwan Kapil Dev in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto. Same thing he's saying in the 11th chapter at the end to Arjun. Lord Krishna says, Mat karma krin. Mere liye kaam karo. Work for me. Mat karma krin. Mat paramo. Know that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mat bhakta. Become my devotee. Mat karma krin. Mat paramo. Mat bhakta. And sangha varjita. Give up bad association. 4 things you do. Mat karma krin, work for me. Mat paramo, understand that I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mat bhakta, become my devotee. And sangha varjita, give up bad association. And then nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. Don't envy anybody, don't hate anybody, don't become anybody's enemy, vairi. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. Don't hate anybody. Because when you say na, asat sanga tyag, sanga tyago, give up bad association, we start hating them. This bad person, I don't want. No, no. It is inauspicious association for my bhajan, therefore I will avoid, but he's Krishna's part and parcel. Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nityata, Mama Amsha Jiva Loka Jiva Sanatana. I respect him, but I will not associate. Respect, but not associate. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj said. Respect, but don't associate. Sangha Varjita and Nirvaira. Don't consider them enemies. Don't hate them. Nirvaira Sarvabhuteshu Yasamameti Pandav. Such a person will come to me. Then 38. Yuanta Pravishya Bhutani Bhutair Akhilashrayaha Savishnoakhyo Dhyadnyosau Kalaha Kalayatam Prabhu. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Adi Yajna, he is Adi Yajna, enjoyer of all sacrifices. He is a time factor. Lord Vishnu is a time. Kalaha. He is the support of everyone. He causes every living being to be annihilated by another. Kalaha. And everything is annihilated. Bhutani, Bhutay, Atti, Akhila. Atti means to annihilate. Akhila, everyone. By one living entity, another living entity is annihilated. Ahastani, Sahastanam. Apadani, Chatushpadam. Phalgunyatra Mahatam, Jivo, Jivasya, Jivanam. But who is causing all this? Laws of nature. Correct? By laws of nature, a predator eats the prey. The prey eats the grass. And then the predator and the prey both become stool, soil, which is consumed by the grass. Haribol, cycle of life. Grass is eaten by the deer. Deer is eaten by the tiger. Tiger dies, becomes mud, grass grows. And the dead body of the tiger is nourishing the grass. Haribol. What is there to be proud? What is there to be proud? This body will become, Bhagavatam says, how many destinations are there? 3, na? Shamyadaru. Body becomes either stool. If an animal eats us, we'll become animal stool. If we are buried, like in Christian and Mohammedan and Jewish faith, then we become soil. And if we are cremated, we become ash. This body has 3 destinations. Body will become ash, body will become stool, body will become earth. Is it something to be proud of? Are we proud to become manure in the earth? Are we proud to become ash? Are we proud to become the stool of an animal? Parsi log, in India, I had many Parsi friends. When the Parsi person dies, they are put on the tower where the vultures and other birds of prey, they will come and eat the flesh. Light tower, they call it light tower. They put the dead body on the top and the vultures come and eat. So they become the stool of vulture. We are cremated, we become ashes. Those who are buried, the Christians and Muslims and Jews, they become earth, mud, manure. So either we become manure, we become stool, or we become ashes. That is what is going to happen to this body. Who puts fair and lovely? Plastic surgery, Botox. Haribol. 38. 38 ho gaya. Like 38 purport. So Krishna is running all this Prakriti, laws of nature. Mayadhyakshana Prakriti Suyatasa Charachana. Purport. Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is clearly described in this passage. Word Vishnu is used in the third line. Sa Vishnu Akhyo. He is called Vishnu. He is the supreme enjoyer. Ahami sarva yajnanam bhokta cha prabhurev cha. Yajnartha karmano, Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Do your karma for Lord Vishnu, who is Yajna, Yajnesh. We are all working as his servants. As stated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 5th chapter 14. Ekela Ishvara Krishna Arasabha Bhritya Jai Jaise Nachai Se Taise Kare Nritya. How many Ishwars are there in this world? One. Ekela Ishvara Krishna. How many servants? Are Sabhritya. All of us are servants. Whether it is Lord Shiva, Lord Ganapati, Durga Mata, everybody is servant. 10th canto, Lord Krishna calls Durga Devi, come here. Durge, transfer Sankarshan from the womb of Devaki into the womb of Rohini. Yes, Prabhu. Yes. Okay, go. Ekela Ishwara Krishna Ara Sabhritya. Jai Jaise Nachaye Se Taise Kare Nritya. How Krishna makes you dance? We have to dance. The same, look at this, same Vishnu enters in everyone's heart as Paramatma and causes annihilation of one being through another being. 39. न चास्य कश्चित् दयितो न द्वेष्यो न च बान्धवः आविश्यत् अप्रमत्तोऽसौ प्रमत्तं जनम अंतकृत्. No one is dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nor is anyone his enemy or friend. Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dveshtosi na priya. Same thing. Bhagavan is saying. No one is dear, nor is anyone his enemy, nor is anyone his friend. Na dvesha, na cha bandhava. Nobody's friend, nobody's enemy. But he gives inspiration to those who have not forgotten him, those who have remembered him. He is a friend to them. And he destroys those who have forgotten him. Hare Krishna. Why? Because it's a reciprocating. Ethamam prapadyante tam sute bhajamam is a eternal siddhanta. You want to remember Krishna, Krishna will give remembrance. You want to forget Krishna, Krishna will let you forget. Haribo. Simple. Why atheists cannot remember Krishna? Because they don't want to remember Krishna. Why devotee remembers Krishna? Because the devotee wants to remember Krishna. So Krishna is reciprocating with the desire. You want to remember me? Okay, I'll make you devotee. You want to hate me? Okay, hate me. Like that. Krishna reciprocates with us. So therefore we should pray that na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamayam mama janmani janmanishware bhavtad bhakti rahaitu kittvai. How many names of Krishna are there in this verse? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Two names, no? Jagadish and Ishwar. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam, va Jagadish, yakamani. Mama janmani, janman, Ishware, bhavatad bhakti rahaitu kitu. Purport. Forgetfulness of one's relationship with Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of one's repeated birth. And what is the cause of our repeated birth and death, which cause suffering in this world? Forgetfulness of Krishna. Therefore, what is Siddhanta? Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. Vismartavyo na jatuchit. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the sum and substance of everything. It is said, therefore, Harim Vina Nayava Smritim Taranti. No one can be saved from the repetition of birth and death without the help of the Supreme Lord. It is therefore the duty of all living entities to take shelter of the lotus feet, Lord Vishnu, and save oneself from the cycle of birth and death. 40. Yad bhayadvati vatoyam suryastapati yad bhayad varshate devo Bhagano bhati yad bhayat. Very beautiful verse. Bhagavan Sri Kapil Dev is saying, out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the wind blows. Yad bhayad vati vatoyam. Vat means wind. Suryastapati yad bhaya. The sun is shining and giving heat and light out of fear. Hari bol. Yad bhayad varshate devo. Devraj Indra is sending rain out of fear of Krishna. Bhagano bhati yad bhayat. And all the demigods, out of fear of Krishna, they shed their luster. In this way, everyone is working under the superintendence of Krishna. Our acharyas have commented on this verse by saying, Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur says, Bhayat means they are working out of fear of displeasing Krishna. They are working because they don't want to displease Krishna. ऐसा नहीं कि they are working and Krishna hunter से चाबुक से मार रहे हैं, काम कर, चल, ऐसा नहीं. They love Krishna. The devatas love Krishna. And they are doing their seva with the fear that if we don't do seva, then Krishna will be displeased. ऐसा नहीं करना. Like that. So how we chant 16 rounds that we don't want to displease our Guru, we want to please our Guru Maharaj, like that. So one can say, out of fear, Satyarupa Mataji is chanting 16 rounds. Yes, because we are afraid of displeasing our Gurudev. So devatas are afraid of displeasing Krishna. That is a proper understanding. Purport. The Lord states in Bhagavad Gita, Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. The whole prakriti, material nature, is working under my direction. Prabhupada says, foolish people think that nature is working automatically. This is atheism. सब अपने आप चल रहा है, everything is accidentally. ऐसा कैसे? Nothing works accidentally. In the last line, Srila Prabhupada says, all natural phenomena are under superintendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. Text 41. Yad vanaspatayo bhita lataschaushadibhi saha स्वे स्वे काले विगृह्णन्ति पुष्पाणि च फलानि च. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of God, the trees and creepers and herbs and seasonal plants and flowers blossom and fructify, each in its own season. Sway, sway. All the flowers and fruits are growing out of ultimately obedience to Krishna. Purport. As the sun rises and sets and the seasonal changes ensue at their appointed time, everything is happening under Krishna's guidance. So the seasonal plants, flowers, herbs, trees all grow under the direction of Supreme Person Krishna. And it's working so nicely that it appears that it's happening automatically. If it's not automatic, it's under the guidance of Krishna. 42. Sravanti sarito bhita notsarpat udadhiryatah agnir indhe sagiribhir bhurnamajjati yad bhaya. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the rivers are flowing. Sravanti sarito bhita. Out of fear, the rivers are flowing. Yamuna flows definitely out of fear of Lord Balram. Hare Krishna. And the ocean never overflows. Na utsarpati udadhi. The ocean never overflows. Out of fear of Krishna only does fire burn. Agnir indhe. And does the earth with its mountains not sink in the water of the universe? Bhur namajjati yad bhayat. Why earth is not sinking in the Garbhodak Sagar? Out of fear of Krishna. It's floating. So, and this Bhagavan is saying this is absolute truth. This is absolute truth. This is the inconceivable Achintya Shakti of Krishna. It's beautiful. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says we can understand from Vedic literature that this universe is half filled with water on which Shri Garbhodakashayi Vishnu is lying. From his abdomen, a lotus flower has grown. And within the stem of that lotus flower, all the different planets exist. In that stem are the 14 planetary system. ऊपर लोटस है, उस पे ब्रह्मा जी है, नीचे नाभि है गर्भोदक्षय विष्णु की. Here it is said that the planets do not sink. Since they are floating under the order of the energy of the Supreme Lord, they do not fall down into the water, which covers half the universe. All planets are heavy, with their various mountains, seas, oceans, cities, palaces, buildings, and yet they are floating. Haribol. It is mentioned, remember we studied some time ago. Varahadev also, when he came, third canto, he lifted up the earth and kept her floating on the surface of the Garbhodak ocean. 43. नभो ददाति श्वसतां पदं यन्नियमाददः लोकम् एव देहं तनुते महान् सप्तभिरावृतम्. Subject to the control of the Supreme Personality of God, the sky allows outer space to accommodate all the various planets, which hold innumerable living entities. ऐसा नहीं कि there is life only on Earth, there is life on other planets also. The total universal body expands with its 7 coverings under Krishna's supreme control. It is understood in the purport Srila Prabhupada, right, from this verse that all the planets in outer space are floating. Hare Krishna. And they all hold living entities. The word Shwasatam means those who breathe. Shwas, living entities. They are there. They are accommodated on all the innumerable planets. Prabhupada says every planet is a residence for innumerable living entities. We may understand how those living entities are, or we may not understand. But just because we cannot see them, their bodies may be made of maybe subtle. Bodies may be made of air. Who knows? Bodies may be made of ether. Subtle bodies. We cannot see, cannot perceive. That doesn't mean that other planets are not occupied. Srila Prabhupada says, it is possible that somebody will build a city with many buildings and the buildings are empty. ऐसा होता है? नहीं होता है. So why Krishna will make planets without any living entities? There are living entities. We cannot perceive them with our material eyes. Because every planet has different types of bodies. Like that. And of course, Srila Prabhupada talks about the layers. It is stated a total universal body, Brahma Anda, covered by 7 layers. 5 are elements within the universe: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. The first layer is earth, 10 times greater in size and the space within the universe. Second layer is water, again 10 times greater than earth. Third layer is fire, 10 times greater than water. In this way, each layer is 10 times greater than the previous one. This is the covering of the Brahmanda. And Bhagwan Vamandev, Trivikram, he pierced that layer and got the celestial water inside the Brahmanda in the form of Ganga, Akash Ganga. Gunabhimanino deva sargadeshasya yadbhayat vartante nuyugam yesham vasha etat characharam. Out of fear of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the directing demigods in charge of the modes of material nature carry out the functions of Shrishti, Sthiti, Pralaya. Creation, maintenance, destruction. Everything animate, inanimate within this material world is under their control. Everything is going on. Prabhupada says in the purport, 3 modes of material nature are Sattva, Raja, Tama. Goodness, passion, ignorance. And these modes are under the control of the 3 controlling deities. Brahma, mode of passion. Lord Shiva, mode of ignorance. And Lord Vishnu, mode of goodness. Like that. Everything is under control of different personalities. Similarly, there are other demigods in charge of different air department, Vayu Dev, water department, Varun Dev, cloud department, Indra Dev, like that. Everything is being controlled by different department heads. But supreme is Krishna. Therefore, Brahma Samhita says, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Undoubtedly, there are many small Ishwars, controllers, but supreme controller, Ishvara Parama, is Krishna. Prabhupada says there are 2 kinds of dissolutions. One kind of dissolution takes place when Brahma goes to sleep during his night, every night. And the final dissolution takes place when Brahma dies when he's 100 years old. As long as Brahma does not die, creation, maintenance, destruction are actuated by different demigods under the superintendence of Krishna. Like that. 45. Swanantontakaraha kalo nadiradikrит avyayah janam janena janayan marayan mrityunantakam. The eternal time factor has no beginning and no end. Kal is eternal. There is no beginning, no. It's eternal energy of Krishna. Just like Krishna is eternal, time is also, Kal is also eternal. Therefore, Kal is Krishna's energy. It is representative of the Supreme Personality of God. Yes, time represents Krishna, the maker of the criminal world. Krishna made this. This is the criminal world, material world. Bahiranga Shakti. It's meant for criminals like us who have turned away from Krishna. Krishna bhuliya se jiv anadi bahir mukha taiva maya tare deha samsara dukha. It brings about the end of the phenomenal world. It carries on the work of creation by bringing one individual into existence from another, and likewise, it dissolves the universe by destroying even the Lord of Death, Yamraj. Time will kill Yamraj also, the Lord of Death. Hari Bol. Yes. With the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, by the influence of eternal time, which is a representative of the Supreme Lord Krishna, a father begets a son. And the father dies by the influence of cruel death. But by time's influence, even the Lord of cruel death, Yamraj, is also killed one day. What pastime I was reading? I was reading the pastime of Vrikasur in the 10th canto. And when Vrikasur goes to Kedarnath and propitiates Lord Shiva comes and says, stop putting your oblations of your own flesh into the fire. What do you want? Tell me. Lord Shiva, will you give me any benediction? Yes, I will give you any benediction except immortality. Except immortality. Because in the end, in this material world, everything, all the devatas are destroyed. Rudra, as manifested in this world, is also destroyed. Sadashiva is not destroyed in Mahesh Dham. He is eternal. But the manifestation of Sadashiva in this world as Rudra, there are 11 Rudras, they are destroyed. Ultimately. Even Brahmaji is going to die. But by time's influence, even the Lord of Kruva is killed. In other words, all the demigods in the material world are temporary, just like our sins. Our lives last for 100 years. They may live for millions of years, but everyone is going to die. Therefore, A Brahma, Bhuvanaloka, Punaravartino Arjuna. Bhagavad Gita. This material world is created, maintained, and then destroyed by the finger signal of the Supreme Lord, Prabhupada says. Therefore, a devotee does not desire anything in this material world. Nahi chahiye. We want Krishna because we are eternal. It is unnatural for us to accept anything in this temporary world. How can an eternal entity be happy with something temporary? Eternal ko eternal chahiye. A devotee desires only to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This servitude exists eternally. There is no end to this service. The Lord exists eternally, His servitor exists eternally, and service exists eternally. Hari Bo. So beautiful. Radha Gopinath Prabhu, read the last sentence nicely with love. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. A devotee desires only to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This servitude exists eternally. The Lord exists eternally. His servitor exists eternally. And the service exists eternally. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Bhagwan, Bhakt, and Bhakti is eternal. Jai Ho. Hari Bol. Thus end the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the third canto, 29th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Explanation of Devotional Service by Lord Kapil Dev. Krishna willing, next week we will begin chapter 30. Description by Lord Kapil Dev of adverse fruitive activities. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर हरि बोल. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Yes, Shamchandra Prabhu, please go ahead.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Thank you once again for your wonderful session today. So in this 44th verse, it is mentioned Guna Abhimanino Devaha. So here it is references to Guna avatars, right? For creation, maintenance, and destruction. So I was
Yes.
wondering, why would Guna avatars, who are actually expansions, why would they do the activities under fear? I mean, remaining all devatas and everybody we can understand, but the Guna avatars, they would also work under fear.
Guna avatars are, we'll have to take shelter of that explanation only, Prabhuji, that ultimately they are doing it. The fear is that we don't want to displease Krishna in any way. The fear is we don't want to displease Krishna. Whether it is Lord Brahma, who in the 14th chapter of the 10th canto is offering prayers, that sorry, I made a mistake, sorry. So that fear is there. I don't want to displease Govinda. Lord Shiva also, after blessing Banasur, he begs forgiveness from Krishna. Sorry. ज़्यादा empower कर दिया मैंने बाणासुर को. Next time I'll be careful. Fear of displeasing Krishna. And Lord Mahavishnu also, he says, sorry, I really wanted to have your darshan. Krishna Arjun. Lord Krishna, I wanted to have your darshan, and therefore I had to steal the sons of the Brahman in Dwarka so that I will have your darshan. Now, please don't mind, na? That fear of displeasing Krishna is the fear, bhaya is to displease. कि displease नहीं करना कृष्ण को. Like that. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yeah, okay. Thank
Hari
you, Prabhu.
Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Ani Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Last question.
Hare Krishna, Guruji, Dandava Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, text number 39. I read the line, okay? No one is dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what exactly that line means? Like,
So it means that Krishna is not partial or Krishna does not do favoritism to anybody. Krishna is equal to everyone. जैसे वर्षा होती है तो वर्षा समान रूप से गिरती है. यदि कोई बाहर जाता है तो वर्षा से भीग जाएगा. यदि कोई घर में आश्रय लेता है या छाते के नीचे आश्रय लेता है तो भीगेगा नहीं. पर वर्षा समान गिरती है. वर्षा के बूंद समान गिरते हैं. उसी प्रकार भगवान की कृपा बरसती है सब पर. अभी वो प्रत्येक व्यक्ति की इच्छा है, या तो हम भगवान की जो कृपा वर्षा है उसमें भीग जाए या फिर वंचित रहे. ऐसा तो भगवान इज नॉट फेवरेबल. ऐसा फेवरेटिज्म नहीं करते, किसी को फेवर करेंगे ऐसा नहीं. भगवान समान है, सभी भगवान के बच्चे हैं. सारी सृष्टि गोपाल की सब भगवान के बच्चे हैं. परंतु जो भगवान को भजते हैं भगवान उनसे आदान प्रदान करते हैं प्रेम से. और जो भगवान को भूलना चाहते हैं तो भगवान उन्हें विस्मरण देते हैं और भूल जाते हैं. ऐसा पर बेसलाइन भगवान इज इक्वल टू एवरीवन. समोहम सर्वभूतेषु. लाइक दैट. ठीक है.
हाँ जी. Last question. Will that?
हाँ.
Prabhuji, you mentioned about that even Yamraj also has to
Die.
So do you have any example or do you know like when it has happened?
हाँ. तो ये जो सारे देवतागण है ना, ये जनरली एक मनवंतर के लिए जीवित रहते हैं. ब्रह्मा जी के एक दिन में 14 मनु आके राज करते हैं. और जो अधिकांश देवता है, जो सप्तऋषि है, इंद्र देव है, वरुण देव है, ये सारे उपाधियां हैं. ये पोस्ट है. जैसे प्रेसिडेंट, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट, सेनेटर, ये पोस्ट है. सेनेटर्स बदलते रहते हैं, वाइस प्रेसिडेंट बदलते रहते हैं, प्रेसिडेंट बदलते रहते हैं. उसी प्रकार ब्रह्मा बदलते रहते हैं, इंद्र बदलते रहते हैं, सप्तऋषि बदलते रहते हैं. तो ब्रह्मा जी उनके पूरे 100 साल के लिए ब्रह्मा रहते हैं. और जब ब्रह्मा जी का देहांत हो जाता है तब ये ब्रह्मांड भी लुप्त हो जाता है. और फिर भगवान विष्णु नया ब्रह्मांड बनाएंगे और हर एक ब्रह्मांड में गर्भोदक्षय विष्णु से एक एक ब्रह्मा जी आएंगे. परंतु जो अन्य देवताएं हैं, देवियां हैं, अधिकांश करके उनकी आयु एक मनवंतर की होती है. जनरली स्पीकिंग प्राय एक मनवंतर. और हर मनवंतर में सप्त ऋषि बदलते हैं. अलग अलग 7 जीवों को ऋषि बनाया जाएगा. एक किसी और जीव को इंद्र बनाया जाएगा। तो इंद्र ये पोजीशन है। हमारे जो अभी वर्तमान काल में इस मनवंतर में जो इंद्र है उनका नाम है पुरंदर। ऐसा। तो उसी प्रकार यमराज भी ये एक उपाधि है, एक पदवी है, और अलग अलग जीव यमराज का स्थान लेते हैं। तो अगले मनवंतर में कोई और यमराज बनेगा, ऐसा। ठीक है प्रभु। एग्जैक्टली यमराज जी की आयु कितनी है? एक मनवंतर है, 2 मनवंतर है, एक कल्प है, मुझे नहीं पता। एक कल्प अर्थात एक दिन ब्रह्मा जी का। ऐसे ब्रह्मा जी के एक वर्ष में 360 दिन होते हैं। एक दिन में 14 मनु। एक मनु के जीवन में 71 सत्य त्रेता द्वापर कली के चक्र होते हैं, दिव्य युग होते हैं। एक दिव्य युग अर्थात सत्य युग, त्रेता युग, द्वापर युग, कलयुग, ये एक दिव्य युग है। ऐसे 71 दिव्य युग एक मनवंतर में होते हैं। ऐसे 14 मनवंतर, 1000 दिव्य युग ब्रह्मा जी के एक दिन में। और उतनी ही लंबी उनकी रात होती है जब सब लुप्त हो जाता है, सब सो जाते हैं। फिर ब्रह्मा जी उठते हैं, फिर से सब क्रिया शुरू होती है एक दिन तक, जिसमें 1000 दिव्य युग है। फिर सो जाते हैं 1000 दिव्य युग के लिए, कोई क्रिया नहीं होती। फिर ब्रह्मा जी उठते हैं, फिर क्रिया शुरू होती है सब जीवों की ब्रह्मांड में 1000 दिव्य युग तक। ऐसे 360 दिन और रात एक वर्ष है ब्रह्मा जी के जीवन का। और ऐसे ब्रह्मा जी 100 वर्ष जीते हैं। हरे कृष्ण। तो ये है। तो इसमें फिर अभी इसके अंदर का यमराज जी की कितनी आयु है पता नहीं, पर अधिकांश प्राय सारे देवी देवताओं की आयु करीब करीब एक मनवंतर होती है। अर्थात ब्रह्मा जी के एक दिन में 14 सब इंद्र इत्यादि बदलेंगे। व्यास भी अलग अलग आते हैं। जो व्यासदेव है, जो सारे वेदों का संग्रह करके लिखते हैं, वो व्यास भी हर मनवंतर में अलग व्यक्ति व्यास बनता है। परंतु ये हमारा मनवंतर बहुत स्पेशल है, विशेष है, क्योंकि इसमें स्वयं भगवान कृष्ण, श्री कृष्ण द्वैपायन व्यासदेव के रूप में आए हैं और उन्होंने भागवतम लिखा है। भागवतम नहीं लिखा जाता किसी साधारण व्यास द्वारा, केवल कृष्ण द्वैपायन भगवान व्यासदेव ही लिख सकते हैं श्रीमद् भागवतम को। अगले मनवंतर में अश्वत्थामा व्यास बनने वाला है। हरि बोल। तो ऐसा है, अलग अलग लोग अलग अलग पोजीशन लेते हैं। श्यामा वल्लभी माता जी।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances.
हरे कृष्ण।
Prabhuji, we see that universe is surrounded by 7 layers: earth, water, fire, air, ether. I think one more is false ego. And what is another layer, Prabhuji? 7th layer.
तो अर्थ, वाटर, फायर, एयर, ईथर, ये 5 हो गए। देन आई थिंक इट इज माइंड एंड इंटेलिजेंस, बट समवन कैन वेरीफाई। श्यामचंद्र प्रभु, यू नो एग्जैक्टली 7 लेयर्स कौन से? हाँ, प्रभु जी विल आंसर। माइंड, इंटेलिजेंस।
Yes, Prabhu. And each are 10 times
Bigger than the former.
bigger than the former, yeah.
अच्छा, Prabhuji has put a comment, Shamchandra Prabhu, you can look. So, Vanitru, Brahmaji's life is 311 trillion 40 billion human years. इसलिए इन्हें अमर कहते हैं, क्योंकि प्रैक्टिकली अमर ही है ये। मतलब इतना लंबा किसने देखा है? ट्रिलियन, 311 ट्रिलियन ईयर्स। यहाँ पे 100 ईयर्स सीम सच अ लॉन्ग, 100 साल जिए, ऐसा, लाइक दैट। ओके। तो ये सब देवताओं को अमर कहते हैं, और इनके जो भगवान है उन्हें अमरेंद्र कहते हैं या अमरनाथ कहते हैं। और उनके जो फादर है उनको श्यामचंद्र प्रभु कहते हैं।
उनके फादर पीछे है।
और उनके फादर श्रीपाद महाराज है पीछे। हरि बोल। ठीक है, थैंक यू डियर डिवोटीज। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। निताई गौर हरि बोल। जय जय श्री राधे।
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण।